So, this one's gonna be about whether you should actually step out of your comfort zone or not. But I think in general, without actually going through the article, I think you should, probably. I initially actually wanted to talk about finding purpose in life. I might just be a little bit talking about that as well, just because it is so in my mind and just because I went through a little article on this issue, if you want to call it an issue. But yeah, stay tuned and I'll see you after the motherfucking intro. I at least hope. I at least hope that my viewing time, no, my what is it, the viewing retention or whatever it is called, like people sticking to the video or the podcast, I think and hope is more than 50, well, now it is 50 seconds. I'll see you. I see you because I hope that it is actually the case. And with that being said, hello, welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics fucking podcast. And it is actually literally insane how good the audio quality is with my fucking blankets on my goddamn fucking desk. It is insane. The difference is so incredibly just big. It really is insane. I would have never thought about that. But this is not what we are going to talk about today, because we are going to talk about stepping out of your comfort zone or comfort zones in general. And I guess there's going to be an example. I hope a pretty good one. I haven't gone through the article. I'm going to read through it, even though, like yesterday, I've been like, okay, I should not read the articles, blah, 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 blah. I'm doing it today. Why? I don't know. I'm just doing. And I'm also going to talk about some other things. But yeah, something that I'm somehow actually trying to do is, actually creating such a space where you do not have to do anything but consuming what I'm doing here. Which means you do not have to go through the article on your own, but you can listen to it, which is the most important part about it. You can listen to it. You don't have to read it, but you can listen to it. So yeah, you listen to it. Just joking. That's fine that the article is not there. Super duper good. But here it is. Here's the article. So is it time to step outside your comfort zone? ? And this one is from the Psychology Today website and from Eva or Eva or Eva, if she's German speaking. But I guess it is Eva M. Krokov or Krokov, PhD. An irrational avoidance of uncertainty may be holding you back. The thing is, the problem that I'm just now already seeing is that those Psychology Today articles are they're really not on a beginner English level. They really are not. I think they are more for people that know English and they know how to talk and read and communicate using it. And it is actually a little bit of a tough article. I at least assume. I hope not, because it might not be the best thing for me and my understanding of the whole topic. But yeah. This article is, by the way, from August 23rd. 23rd? Is it 23rd? Am I? Either I'm just completely retarded right now or just completely fucked right now, or it is actually 23rd. Yeah, it must be. It really must be. This one is from the August 23rd, which is actually today, 2019. And there is going to be a quote right now. Our love wasn't perfect, I know. I will forgive and forget. If you say you will never go, because it is true what they say, it's better the devil you know. I don't know what this is going to tell me, but I assume that she's going to talk about it just right afterwards. So in her famous 1990 hit single, Better the Devil You Know, Queen of Pop Kylie Minogue, I don't know, ponders experiences from a past relationship. Acknowledging previous romantic challenges, she promises to forgive her partner, and express the wish to start over. This is because the proverbial devil you know seems preferable to an unknown future partner with potentially even worse qualities. And it is actually true. I have not been talking about relationships and partnerships and having girlfriend, boyfriend, wife and whatever before I'm having a girlfriend at the time. Uh, but still, I kind of do not feel like that I should be talking about it, even though it might be just a really, really important conversation here, and it might be also just something that might help someone here, which, well, actually is one of the only reasons why I should actually be doing that. But the thing is, I kind of do not feel like, okay, I should give advice, I should be talking about it, just because, like, yeah, um, I've been in a relationship for 2 years now, more than 2 years. And yeah, like it is not such a long time, I guess. Still, I might have some experiences, I might have some opinions that might help someone out here. But yeah, I don't know. The thing is, it is actually really the truth. Like, how could you know that the next person that you're going to be in a relationship within is going to be better or has better qualities or is just nicer or just more generous or whatever it is? How could you know? Like, I don't know. I kind of feel like often it is the case that people somehow like are really unhappy with their current relationship, which is totally fine. Like if you're unhappy, just change something up. The just is a little bit like because it is not always like that just or just like it's not always like okay, just do it and make it and everything is fine again. It is like a process. It is like okay, you have to talk to your partner, you have to do this, you have to do that until you can actually change up something or until the change is actually somehow possible, because sometimes it is even not possible through various reasons. I don't know. The thing is, it is actually a good point. It is just a good point to ask yourself whether it actually makes sense to just break up with a certain person because you kind of think like that the next person is going to be way better. It could be the case, I'm not going to lie. If the partner you're in a relationship within, if he or she is actually so, I don't know, abusive or so something that there is no other way than just quitting this whole relationship, then please do it. Like, happiness should still be the first thing there. And, well, yeah, today I've actually got a DM on Instagram from someone being like, because I've posted something in my story which was like, okay, helping other people just feels great. Which is the case, it really feels great, and it is definitely just, yeah, it got implemented by nature. This is definitely the case because, like, yeah, we are social animals, as there's also a book that is called Social Animal, and I will always, when I just hear the word social animal and when I just then touch the word social animal or this structure, I'm gonna talk about the fucking book. I have been doing it for all the time. I will always be doing it, I guess. It is not good, it is not bad, it's just something that came to my mind. But we are definitely social, and there is a reason why it feels great to help other people. Because, really back in the early days, at least this is what I believe. I don't know if I've read it somewhere, and I do not really know if I've just kind of came up with it myself. Could be either way. I really don't know. But the thing is, I believe, and I'm going to start it with this because this just doesn't implement any sources or something. I believe that just helping other people feels great because if we hadn't helped the people really back in the days like caveman times, then we all would have died. I guess. I believe. I really believe so because yeah, of course, there has to be a reason to actually help other people. Like, I think we wouldn't be doing it if there was just no feeling or no kind of endorphins somehow attached or correlated to helping other people. Which means okay, we feel good when we help other people. This is what I actually mean. And I think we would have never done it, if there was no kind of feeling good when helping people thing. At least I believe it is the case. But I really don't know. The thing is, it feels great. And then he replied okay, but the best thing is when you do just, what did he say exactly? He said something okay, the best thing is if you can help yourself and the other person, and or if you can just, the end thing was, I've been saying okay, selflessness. Which basically means being selfish in the first place so that you can actually be selfless in the long term, which is actually a really, really important thing. It is from Gary Vee, and it is just one of the things that just really, they're gonna stick with me, because they're just so enormously great. I just really like that saying, because it is true. I believe that first of all, we kinda need to be selfish so that we can be selfless in the future. Because if you're happy, if you're really, really fucking happy, just putting in their work and helping other people just is way, way more often in your mind and way more present in your mind than when you're already feeling unhappy and you're feeling really bad and you feel like exhausted. Then just not a lot of people are thinking about actually helping other people, and or just doing something else. Doesn't necessarily have to be helping, but doing something for people. This is at least what I believe. I might have seen it, I might have experienced it myself, but I don't know. What I know is that I actually have to close some software here so that I do not have any issues with the recording, because I'm already seeing the error messages popping up. But I'm very sorry. Actually, the second time in my whole recording career, maybe, where it happened to me. But yeah, let's actually move on. And this is because the proverbial devil you know seems preferable to an unknown future partner with potentially even worse qualities. In only a few simple lines, Kylie's song lyrics manage to capture an important phenomenon of human decisions making, an irrationally strong dislike and avoidance of uncertainty, which may prevent us from stepping outside our comfort zone. Something that I've seen as well, like uncertainty is definitely one of the things that I also seem to be avoiding. I don't know, I just seem to be. Uncertainty aversion. The concept of uncertainty aversion also referred to an ambiguity. I don't fucking know the word. It is ambiguity aversion. Describes a human preference of known risks over unknown risks. Whenever this is possible, this preference was first demonstrated by Daniel Ellsberg in 1961 using the following task. And now this is actually the example that I've spotted just before, and I'm gonna go through it. And it might be just some do it with me example thing, if you know what I mean, I hope. And it would be great. It would be great to actually go through it while I am talking about it. So for you and also for me. Imagine you have the chance of participating in one out of two betting options. Both bets involve an epic earn. What the fuck is an epic? I don't fucking know. Epic. I think it's epic. The bottle was made of a peak glass so that the contents should not be seen or could not be seen. Why don't you just say non-transparent, please? I don't English. I'm very sorry. So it is definitely not a transparent glass or urn. What do they say? It is actually urn or urn. It is URN. You know what I mean. Filled with colored balls, from which one ball is drawn at random to determine the outcome of the bet. Before each new draw, one color is chosen randomly as the winning color, and if the ball matches this color, you receive a prize. Now here's the interesting part. In the first bet, the urn contains exactly 50 red and 50 black balls. In the second bet, the urn contains 100 balls in red and black. But the relative frequency of each color is unknown. And I've been thinking about it like, okay, there has to be just some unknown shit here. So which bet would you choose? Really, really interesting thing. But actually, I guess I would just really use the 50-50 thing, even though it might be the case that, there's going to be just a 90-10 or, 99 and one ball that is red. It could be the case, but I don't know. It is really the uncertainty thing that just sticks with me there. What would you take? Would you take the first one with 50-50 or the second one with 100 bars and nobody actually knows the relative frequency of them? Either, would be actually great. Comment down in the comment section. If you're on the YouTube video, if you're on the podcast, please hit me up and I might just be putting it into my story or some shit like this so that, people can see, but they actually did an experiment or study on that already. So yeah, it seems actually to be the case that 70% of the people go for the first one. So if you chose bet 1, you are in good company because experiments have found that approximately 70% of people will go for the same option. One reason typically named for choosing bet 1 is that the probability of winning is known. On average, the drawn ball will match the winning color 1 time out of 2, thus leaving you with a 50% chance of receiving the prize. In contrast, no information is available about the probabilities of bet 2. Picking the first bet is therefore an indicator of uncertainty aversion because it involves choosing a situation with a known risk over a situation with an unknown risk. I definitely do, or it definitely shows. The thing there is, it might be an interesting question or an interesting calculation whether or how good the chances are or probabilities are for you to actually have a better chance of winning when you do choose the other bet. Which means, like, how likely is the probability of having, like, something better than 50-50? If this is even, like, a question. Or if this would even make something better, because it is like, okay, you change it up and it is going to be like, okay, 80-50, no, 80-20 maths, 80-20, and then you've actually chosen, or the winning ball is going to be just red, but there is 80% of black in there. It's going to be just a shitty thing for you. But yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean because you are fucking smart. What is rational? In the example above, it may seem intuitively obvious to choose the bet with more information. However, a completely rational decision maker should be indifferent between the two betting options, and this is why. Say you choose bet 1, and this choice is informative because it implies that you judge the probability of drawing a winning ball from this first urn as higher than from the second urn. So let's now assume the winning color is determined to be red. According to your previous judgment, drawing a red ball from the first urn is more likely than drawing a red ball from the second urn. Since the probabilities in the first urn are fully known, both colors are equally likely with a probability of 50% each. It logically follows that the probability of drawing a red ball from the second urn must be lower than 50%. I actually didn't think about it. I thought about, like, okay, it could be either way. It could be more or it could be better, and it also could be worse or a higher and a lower percentage, whatever you think about. Since the probabilities of drawing either color from each urn have to add up to 100%, it further follows that why does it have to be? Does it have to be? Did they say, like, okay, there's just exactly the same amount of balls in each of every urn? Did they? Because I don't know. I don't know that. So 100%, it further follows that the likelihood of drawing a black ball from the second urn will be higher than 50%. I don't know the shit, because I can't do maths, but it is probably helping you understand. So now hold that thought and consider this alternative scenario. Let's again assume you picked bet 1, but this time the winning color is determined to be black. Your decision to pick bet 1 implies again that you believe it more likely to draw the winning color from the first urn compared to the second urn. Since the probability of drawing black from the first urn is fully known, which is 50%, it logically follows that the probability of drawing a black ball from the second urn must be lower than 50%. Since the probabilities of drawing either color from each urn have to add up to 100%, it further follows that the likelihood of drawing a red ball from the second urn will be higher than 50%. So whatever it is, actually, it seems to be the case that the likelihood of you drawing it is going to be higher in the second one. Therefore, should you then just not, like, choose the second one? Like, if probabilities seem to be somehow higher in some weird scenario. So do you spot the glaring inconsistency? The underlying assumptions for choosing bet 1 over bet 2 fail to add up, thus exposing an error in reasoning. In other words, there is no rational reason for preferring bet 1 over bet 2. It seems to be the case. So I actually clearly didn't understand that or understood that, but I do understand that this is definitely something about stepping out of your comfort zone. Like the comfort would have been like, okay, I'm just going to choose the 50-50 one because I know it is going to be just a 50% chance. I might be just having the ball or I might not be having the ball. Who knows? But stepping out of your comfort zone would be like, okay, I'm going to choose the risky version because who knows? Who really knows what's going to be the thing? Who really knows what the relative frequency actually is. Because I don't know. Maybe the guy who is just selling me on this weird little game doesn't know either. But maybe, like, I'm just thinking about it, it still depends on what scenario it is and, how you actually come up with this idea, or how those two bets are somehow presented, and which amount of money it is involved with, and whatsoever. So there's a lot of variables, I think, that lead to different decisions. But the thing is, if it is just some weird man just asking, like, do you want to go for bet 1 or bet 2, or you're gonna die or some shit like this, I don't know if you're gonna just play risky. I don't think so, actually. I think you would just be going for a safe one, or the relatively safe one, because who the fuck knows gonna be in the second one? Who the fuck knows if there's gonna be just some fucking snake in there or something, just with no reason. Never mind, just let it be what it is. Just okay, I haven't said anything. So there actually seems to be no reason to pick the first one. Somehow, rationally speaking, there seems to be no reason. But so what? Which is actually standing there. So what? So what? What is just, like the kind of bottom line thing here? So what? Given the experimental evidence and the insights gained from our thought experiment, it appears that many human decision makers are averse to uncertain options, even when there is no rational reason to do so. This aversion may manifest itself through the avoidance of new and unknown situations, or by unwarranted feelings of stress experienced when involuntarily faced with such uncertainty. Both of these consequences can have serious implications for everyday life. A particularly important area affected by uncertainty aversion is health-related decision-making. Many patients are unnecessarily reluctant to try lesser-known treatment options, and some may avoid vaccinating their children in cases of uncertainty about personal risk factors. Equally, many doctors struggle with ambitious patient cases, are reluctant to convey uncertain diagnosis to patients, and try to compensate for the uncertainty by prescribing medication. Well, yeah. Finally, even providers of medical insurance aren't immune to the decision bias. A study of professional actuaries showed that insurance coverage of risks with unknown probabilities was priced significantly higher than insurance to risk with known probabilities. Like, this just really makes sense. And just because I've been actually learning about it in school, like last year, like a few months ago is a little bit underdone, to be honest, because like, I don't know, half a year since then or something. I don't know. The thing is, it just makes sense, because they don't know how likely it is that this case is gonna be just, that this case is gonna just be the case. Yeah, I think, it is a weird sentence, but I guess it is alright. The thing is, it makes sense, because insurance groups are there because they want to have your fucking money. They're not nice, they want your fucking money. It is what it is, But they have to calculate. They have to calculate their risks. And if they don't know how big the risk is, they don't know how much to charge for this certain thing or for this certain insurance. It just makes sense. They have to make money, and they have to somehow calculate how they can just get the money from you, and how much it should be, so that they can cover just certain amounts of money, because they want to be in a surplus. They don't want to fucking lose money. They want to have just gained money in the end of the year, and therefore they have to calculate fucking things. And it is not going to be so easy if you don't know how big or how just high the probabilities of this risks being actually the case, or this risk occurring might be. So they have to calculate it. And I think the more unknown the probabilities are, the higher. Well, does it make sense? Does that make sense? I don't know. The thing is, what I've just said is just a fact. They want to make money, and they're gonna make money. And yeah, they do everything to make money, I guess. That for sure they're gonna just not lose money. Yeah. The cynicism and negativity is just already there. But yeah, so what conclusions should we draw from this evidence? If you are particularly sensitive to uncertain situations, it might be time to step outside your comfort zone. Research suggests that increased experience is a way to learn about unknown probabilities and develop more natural attitudes towards uncertainty. Maybe Kylie would have done better looking for a new romantic partner rather than trying to review the old relationship. Yeah, okay. So if you're up for trying something new, this yoga class for risk takers could be a helpful first step, and even if it doesn't help with uncertainty aversion, it will certainly be fun. Well, yeah, it is what it is, but it is just really, really a weird thing, just having like some yoga thing on a psychology site. I don't know if it helps. It is great. If it doesn't help, it's still great if it's fun. Like, yeah, it totally is. But what do I learn and what do we learn about this thing or about taking risks? Is it that we actually should calculate the probabilities or that we should just be like... The thing is, something that I am just thinking about very, very, very often nowadays, or just the past few days, is no matter what decision you're actually making, you will never know the alternative. Something that Gary Vee was blasting out in the world, and it is just amazingly insane, because it is just the case. You will never know, and I will never know what the alternative would have been. I don't know. And the thing is, decisions are not only like real decisions, like, okay, do you want to have just this bread or that bread, but it is also like what you say, because everything that you say is going to be a decision, because you could have said something else. The thing is, on certain days, it is actually the case for me, I'm saying things that I should not have been said. And I did it. But just getting crippled by it afterwards is not really a good strategy, because you just don't know the alternative. Maybe you would have said something completely fucked up just a day later, because you didn't have this satisfaction of just saying something dumb once or just before. I don't know. Who knows what could have happened? You could have died. Fucking shit. You really could have. And I'm really glad you aren't dead right now. If you aren't listening to that, which I assume then that you are not dead. Never mind. The thing is, we don't know. We don't know the alternatives, and we don't know how everything would have worked out if we have just done something completely different. Nobody knows. I don't know, you don't know. I don't know. Seth Godin doesn't know, and he knows a lot of shit, but he certainly doesn't know that. And I certainly don't know the uncertain. I don't know, I just wanted to make something with uncertainty because I was just thinking about it. And the thing is, step out of your comfort zone. Step out of your comfort zone. Something that I try to do as well, and it feels great. It really feels great after you've done the thing you've been feared of, or done the thing that is actually outside of your comfort zone. If it is just about, speaking to people, if it is about jumping out of a plane, with a parachute or whatever it is called. Yeah. And, all the other things that are like, just try out shit, try out and do and see if it is working for you. And if it is working for you, and if everything turned out fine, and if not, then you would have never known the alternative anyway. It is what it is. It is what it is, Therefore, actually, decision-making is a pretty simple thing. Just, I think taking the things... Something that I've been talking about just very, very early in my whole game is actually layering your decision-making on your values and goals. And then, you can't miss out on your goals, and you can't miss out on your values, and you're gonna just always be with your values, theoretically, potentially. Practically, I don't know if it's gonna be that easy to always just choose things that, actually are based on your values and goals, because sometimes, we are humans, let's just take it that way. We are humans, and we just make decisions sometimes that might be fucked up, or might be not good, might be something, but just not the best thing or something. I don't know. The thing is, step out of your comfort zone, I guess. This is what this article just shows us, that it is fine. It should be fine. but don't take just unnecessary risks, I guess. Like, there's just gonna be some situations where the risk is definitely like, way too high. I don't know, like risk taking is still something that I believe can be very important, or can be just, can be a good thing, just because like, the upside is probably gonna be just pretty good, or pretty high, or whatever it is. But if the risk is like, okay, 100% okay, you're gonna die, no, just don't do it. Please don't do that. Or just 100% your business is gonna fail, and you're like, well, I'm gonna try for that like 101% thing, even though it is not possible or something. But what I'm talking about, of course you know that, but I just wanted to point that out. With that being said, I think this is actually going to be the end of the episode, and there's going to be another episode today, because today is Friday. I'm going to work out just afterwards, and then I'm going to eat and some shit like this, and then I'm going to record again, I guess, at least. And this is then going to be my day. My amazing day with amazing recordings, because this recording as well is like good, and I feel so present when I'm doing them. Like, it is so insane. I just do not think about anything else than doing the episode and recording it. It is insane. It just really is insane. I can really, really suggest everybody to at least have a podcast. Like, filming yourself is something different. Like, not everybody wants to do that, but having a podcast where only your voice is there is totally fine, I guess, and you can just blast out all your thoughts and all the things that are on your mind, and it's just insane. It's like therapy in some way, even, I guess. But I wish you the best health, happiness, and also success. And I also hope that you're going to remind yourself on how you gonna be fucking remembered. So basically, your legacy. And still, something that I do just have to point out is that even though we're totally in control of our legacy, no matter how nice and no matter how generous you are, there's still gonna be someone that doesn't like you. Just because it's our human nature, I guess, I assume. I don't know. The thing is, just try. And also look out for your purpose. What is your purpose? We haven't been talking about purpose this time. I'm sorry. But what is your purpose? Just think about why are you on this planet, and what is actually the most fucked up thing that you're seeing every single day. So basically, what are you trying to change on this planet? Because this can then be your purpose, or could then be your purpose. At least think about it as just it being just pretty high in probability. But I have to thank you very, very much for staying with me on this episode, for going through this episode with me, or this article with me. And I'm hopefully going to see you the next time. Subscribe if you want to see more. And also, just check out the podcast if you're on the YouTube video, and check out the YouTube video if you're on the podcast. Because there's going to be an upside on both of the sides. I see you the next time. And thanks again. Really, from the bottom of my heart, it's just insane. It is insane. I see you. Thanks.